Hey, it's Joe, and welcome back to Humanfluence. Now, what if everything you've ever known, the people, the places, the choices you've made, wasn't entirely real? What if beneath the surface there was an underlying code, shaping every moment of your existence, guiding your decisions without you even knowing? In The Matrix, we are invited to explore this very question. Neo's journey isn't about escaping a computer simulation. It's a deep dive into what it means to awaken, to see beyond the illusions. The Wachowskis didn't just create a film. They layered it with hidden symbols, cryptic messages, and profound references, each one hinting at the nature of our own reality, from philosophical underpinnings to biblical references, from Greek mythology to cyberpunk dystopias. The Matrix is more than a movie. It's a documentary. It's a wake-up call. Are we too living in a matrix? In this video, we'll take a look at 100 hidden Easter eggs and symbols, each a clue to the mystery of reality itself, weaving together philosophy, mythology, and the metaphysical. So buckle up, take the red pill, and follow me down the rabbit hole. Let's begin. It all starts with the name Neo. But he's not just any hacker. His very name is an anagram of one, signaling his destiny as the one, the savior of humanity within the Matrix. He is destined for something greater, but before he can even begin to understand that, he's trapped in his old life, living in room 101. Room 101, this number isn't random. It recalls Orwell's 1984, where room 101 is a place of ultimate fear and truth. For Neo, it's where his journey begins, where he starts to confront the illusions of his own reality. How does his journey begin? With a message. A strange signal telling him to follow the white rabbit. A clear reference to Alice in Wonderland. This rabbit will lead Neo down into a world far stranger than he ever imagined. Just like Alice, Neo is about to fall into a reality that challenges everything he thought he knew. The Plato's cave allegory comes into play here. Like the prisoners in Plato's cave, Neo begins seeing only shadows, believing the illusions projected in front of him are reality. His entire existence up until now has been a digital shadow of the truth. Enter Morpheus, whose name comes from the Greek god of dreams. He is Neo's guide, the one who helps him wake up from the dream of the Matrix. But how does Morpheus begin this awakening? With a choice, the red or blue pill. This moment reflects an ancient philosophical dilemma. Should we choose truth, even if it's painful, or continue living in comfortable ignorance? The red pill symbolizes knowledge and awakening, while the blue pill keeps one trapped in the comforting lie of the Matrix. The Matrix itself mirrors Maya, the Hindu and Buddhist concept of illusion. Just as in these spiritual traditions, those trapped within the Matrix are blind to the real nature of existence, accepting the false world presented to them. When Neo is pulled out of his pod, weak and covered in amniotic fluid, his pod birth represents more than just physical emergence. It's his spiritual rebirth. Like being born again, he is now a blank slate, ready to see the world with new eyes. But even after being reborn, Neo's journey is plagued with questions about free will and fate. When he meets the Oracle, she tells him not to worry about breaking the vase, and then he immediately breaks it. This simple moment encapsulates the central paradox of the film. Did Neo have free will, or was his action predestined? It's a reflection of the deeper question. Can we ever truly have free will? Or are our actions scripted by unseen forces? Then there's Agent Smith, the relentless enforcer of the system. His black sunglasses reflect everything, showing that the agents are detached from the emotions of the world they police, cold observers of a reality they do not participate in. Smith embodies control, but he is more than just a program. He is also Neo's shadow, the dark force Neo must confront within himself in order to fully awaken. And what does Smith think of humanity? In one chilling scene, he calls humans a virus, a parasitic force consuming the planet's resources. His words are a reflection of real-world anxieties about human overconsumption, environmental degradation, and the destructive tendencies of our species. Meanwhile, Neo's journey is all about realizing that reality is malleable. In the famous bullet-dodging scene, we see him bending time and space as the bullets slow down and curve around him. This scene reflects the deeper truth that within the Matrix, the laws of physics are just part of the illusion, constructs that can be bent by those who understand the nature of the code. We can't talk about the Matrix without mentioning those iconic green lines of code. This cascading code represents the underlying fabric of the digital world Neo inhabits, a constant reminder that reality, at least within the Matrix, is little more than a series of ones and zeros, a sophisticated program written to control the human mind. Neo himself becomes a modern Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods, or in this case, knowledge from the machines, to bring it back to humanity. But this isn't just a simple story of man versus machine. There are layers of cosmic symbolism embedded in the world of the Matrix. Take Zion, the last human city, hidden deep underground. This name is a direct biblical reference invoking Zion as the city of God, the ultimate sanctuary of truth. It represents the last hope for humanity, a physical and spiritual refuge from the Matrix, hidden beneath layers of illusion. It exists in duality with the Matrix itself, much like yin and yang, two opposing forces that balance the world. And then we meet the Merovingian, a shadowy figure whose name is tied to the ancient bloodlines of kings, believed to be descended from Christ. His obsession with causality, the idea that every action has a consequence, mirrors the film's exploration of fate and free will. He believes that free will is an illusion and that everything is bound by the laws of cause and effect. Let's not forget Trinity, Neo's guide and partner. Her name evokes the Holy Trinity, symbolizing unity and balance between mind, body, and spirit. She plays the role of the spiritual force in Neo's journey, grounding him in both love and reality. Her role mirrors Mary Magdalene, whose love and sacrifice were central to Christ's journey. When Trinity resurrects Neo with a kiss, she isn't just saving his life, she's completing the cycle of death and rebirth that make Neo the savior. But to fully understand the Matrix, we must delve into the architect, the cold, calculating figure who reveals himself as the true creator of the Matrix. He's a clear parallel to the Gnostic demiurge, a flawed creator of the material world and Gnostic tradition. The architect is not the omniscient God of creation, he's a flawed being, unable to create a perfect system. He may pull the strings, but even he is part of a greater cycle. Bowing to the ultimate power of the Deus Ex Machina, the literal god of the machine world. And while these grand metaphysical themes play out, the Wachowskis sneak in subtle references to real-world events. Look closely at Neo's passport. It expires on September 11th, 2001. A subtle and eerie foreshadowing of the world-changing events to come. From the beginning, we are also clued into the philosophical underpinnings of the movie. In one of the earliest scenes, Neo hides his illegal hacking equipment and a copy of Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation, a philosophical text that argues our world is full of symbols and simulations, representations more real than reality itself. The book directly parallels Neo's journey. The world he thought was real is merely a construct, a shadow of the true world behind it. The metaphors become even more vivid when Neo is resurrected. His rebirth doesn't evoke just Christ, it mirrors the phoenix, the mythical bird that rises from its ashes, reborn anew. Neo's resurrection shows us that death is not the end, it's merely a gateway to a higher form of existence. But Neo's journey isn't just about personal transformation. His ongoing battles with Agent Smith become more than just physical confrontations. They represent the eternal struggle between light and dark, freedom and control. Smith is more than Neo's enemy, he is the other side of the same coin. Their battle is one of balance, much like the Jungian shadow, where Neo must integrate the darker aspects of himself to reach true enlightenment. The woman in the red dress is another symbol of distraction and temptation. In the training program, she pulls Neo's attention away from the mission at hand, symbolizing how the material world seduces us, keeping us from seeing the larger picture of reality. And then there's Morpheus's white room, the blank construct where anything is possible. The room represents the limitless potential of the mind, a canvas where reality is not yet written. It's a space free from illusion, where Neo begins to understand that his powers are not just about physical strength, but about belief. As Morpheus says, what is real? How do you define real? Reality within the Matrix is defined by the mind. The role of faith is crucial in the film, too. Niobe's faith in Neo, despite all odds, reflects a central theme of the trilogy, the importance of belief in shaping reality. Just as the people of Zion put their faith in Neo as the One, their belief in him drives the rebellion forward, even when all hope seems lost. Throughout the film, green dominates the visual palette whenever characters are inside the Matrix. This green hue is reminiscent of old computer screens, constantly reminding us that everything we see is part of a digital construct, a coded reality. It's the visual manifestation of the Matrix's control over perception and senses. Neo's pod birth earlier in the film echoes when we see the Sentinels, those terrifying machine creatures that swoop through the real world. Their design, with multiple eyes and serpentine tentacles, mirrors the ancient concept of an all-seeing eye, a symbol of omnipresent surveillance and control. But control is only illusion, and Neo's journey is about learning to bend reality with belief. We see this clearly in Spoon Boy's wisdom, "There is no spoon." This line is a direct reflection of Buddhist philosophy, suggesting that reality is a mental construct, and by detaching from it, we can reshape it as we wish. The Nebuchadnezzar, Morpheus' ship, is named after the biblical king Nebuchadnezzar, known for his prophetic dreams. This ties into the theme of prophecy and the role that dreams play in shaping reality throughout the trilogy. Neo's battle with Agent Smith, who evolves into a virus, represents the breakdown of the system itself. Smith is no longer a tool of the Matrix. He's a rogue element, seeking to overwrite reality with his own version of control. This mirrors real-world fears of unchecked power and how systems can corrupt from within. As Neo loses his physical sight in revolutions, he gains the ability to see the energy of machines and golden light. This symbolizes the awakening of his inner vision, the spiritual insight that transcends physical senses. And let's not forget the Train Man, who controls passages between the Matrix and the real world. His role as the gatekeeper parallels Charon, the ferryman of Greek mythology who transports souls across the river of Styx to the afterlife. Even Neo's death in the real world carries deep significance. When he sacrifices himself to save Zion, it's not a physical death. It's a symbolic death of his old self, the ultimate act of selflessness, mirroring Christ's sacrifice. Through this act, Neo ascends beyond the material world, showing us that light always conquers darkness.
3, 2, 1.
Then there's the Keymaker, who opens literal and metaphorical doors for Neo. He acts as a psychopomp, a guide who helps Neo navigate through the labyrinth of the Matrix to unlock the path to enlightenment. Each moment in the Matrix invites us to look deeper. Even Agent Smith's license plate contains hidden meaning. It references Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16, a biblical verse about God creating a smith who destroys. This subtle reference hints at Smith's destructive role within the Matrix. Neo's journey follows the archetypal hero's journey, from the call to adventure through death and resurrection to his ultimate return as the Savior. His final crucifixion pose solidifies his role as a Christ figure, sacrificing himself for the salvation of humanity. And then we have the broader concept of Plato's cave, where the matrix itself serves as the ultimate illusion, a world of shadows and half-truths, where the masses are kept from seeing the light of true reality. And so we've arrived at the end of our journey, 100 symbols, hidden meanings, and Easter eggs, each offering a window into a reality more complex than it seems. Each one an invitation to look deeper, to question more, to wonder, just as Neo did. What is real and what is illusion? In the end, just like in the Matrix, the answer isn't simply found in escaping. The answer is to awaken and realize that perhaps we've been in control all along. Humanfluence, out.